I'm going to show you how you can finish up your assignment on 12 gradients. So right now I've got my 4 different stars and they each have a different gradient. From the window panel, I can click Gradient and I can see my colors. If you notice, when I click on each one, all of these are linear gradients. Next, I want, except for the last one is a freeform gradient. Next, I want to duplicate each of the stars. So I'm going to hold the Alt key and just drag across so I can duplicate these. Now, in each of the new stars, I'm going to change the gradient from from linear to radial. So all I have to do is click inside the shape, and for the type, I'm going to choose radial. Now, once I have the shape in there, if I wanted to, I could go and I could tweak it a little bit. I could kind of adjust exactly where the gradient starts and ends. And the very last one, because it was started out with a freeform gradient, I can click and then I can drag some of the corners in a little bit and make that a little bit different. Remember that I can go back to my shortcut direct select tool so I can get out of the gradient editing portion. Next, if I wanted to, I could add a second artboard, or like adding another coloring page. To do that, I would go to Window, Artboards, and I can see I've got one. If I wanted to add a second artboard, I could click right here and click New Artboard, and I can double click, and I'm going to name my second one Bike, and I'm going to rename my first one Gradient Stars. Next, I want to show you a neat way that we could utilize making a gradient in a circle. So I've got my example on another page, and to copy everything, I'm going to use my direct selection tool, hold my mouse down and drag around it. So that's going to select everything inside there. I can do Edit Copy, Control C to copy, and then Edit Paste or Control V to paste. If you notice, it's a little bit large, so I can click on the right corner and resize that so they both stay in the same dimensions. So right now I have a background, and then I have one circle that is red. So here is the stroke. So to change it, I can double click on the stroke, and then I can click on one of the gradients I've used before, or I can click under the swatch menu, go to Gradients, and then I could find a gradient I like. And once I find a gradient I like, then from there I can go and so now I've got my spectrum here, and so if I want to go and edit that anymore, remember I can go to Window and Gradient, and that's where I have my different gradients. I can adjust the colors. I can also slide them a little bit forwards and backwards. If there's a color I don't like, remember I can click on the color and pull down, and that will delete it. So maybe I just want a more like a CMYK for cyan, magenta, and yellow. I can also adjust the stroke for that, and then if I have the circle I like, I can click on it, hold the Alt key down, drag across, and then cover that up. And so now I have a bicycle that has some gradient tires on there. I can go back and double click on the bicycle, and so now you can see here's my bicycle, and then I can double click out of there and go back and see the two gradient circles I put on top.